Sometimes a single business decision, just one investment, can actually tell you a much bigger story about where our entire world is headed. And today, we're going to look at a huge bet being placed on one of the planet's most important and honestly, often overlooked crops, the soybean. So let's talk numbers. $420 million. That's how much money the agricultural giant Daniels Midland, you probably know them as ADM, is pouring into just one of its factories in Decatur, Illinois. So, the big question is, why? Why on earth would you invest so much in a single plant in the middle of the American Midwest? What do they see coming that we don't? Well, right off the bat, this isn't just about some routine maintenance or swapping out a few old machines. No way. This is a massive, strategic bet on two of the most powerful and, let's face it, permanent trends shaping our future: the global demand for renewable energy and the ever-growing need for protein to feed the world. Okay, so let's get into the nitty-gritty of this bet. With this investment, ADM is expecting to boost the amount of soybeans it can process at this single location by a whopping 15% by 2027. Now, in the world of commodities, that is a huge leap in capacity. It just signals this incredible confidence in future demand. To really understand why they're so confident, we need to kind of look inside the factory walls. And it all comes down to this core industrial process with a fascinatingly simple name: the soybean crush. At its heart, the crush is exactly what it sounds like. I want you to think of it like a giant industrial-scale olive press, but for soybeans. The entire goal is to take a whole soybean and just efficiently split it into its two most valuable parts. That's it. The process itself is remarkably straightforward. You've got raw soybeans from all those Midwest farms going in one end, they pass through the crushing process, and then out the other end come two totally distinct, highly valuable products, oil and meal. The magic here, it's not in the complexity, it's in the efficiency and the sheer scale of it all. Now, this is where it gets really interesting. Where do these two products actually go? The soybean oil, that's a key ingredient for the booming renewable diesel market. At the same time, the high-protein soybean meal becomes a foundational component of animal feed, supporting meat and dairy production all around the world. So you have two products from one single bean feeding two enormous global industries. So let's look at how this all builds, because those two destinations, fuel and food, are the powerful engines that are driving this entire investment. ADM isn't betting on some short-term trend here. Nope. They're betting on deep structural demand. So on one side, you've got this sustained global push for cleaner energy, which makes soybean oil a critical feedstock. And then on the other side, you have a growing world population that requires more protein, which means more livestock, which in turn requires more soybean meal for feed. Both of these demand curves are pointing sharply up. And this quote from the source material just says it all perfectly. ADM isn't just trying to squeeze a few more cents of profit out of their existing setup. They are fundamentally expanding their capacity because they are certain the world is going to want a lot more of what they produce for years and years to come. But, this story is about more than just production. It's about control. In the modern commodities world, building bigger and better infrastructure, that's a direct play for market power and really for supply chain dominance. Think about it. By expanding its processing capacity, ADM strengthens its position at every single step. Upstream, they become a bigger, more important buyer for farmers. In the midstream, they're just producing more oil and meal. And then downstream, they become a more reliable and powerful supplier to all their fuel and feed customers. It gives them more control, more flexibility, and more profit across the board. So the crucial point here is this. It's basically an arms race, but with infrastructure. The company that has the highest throughput, the best logistics, and the most efficient processing plants is the one that's best positioned to navigate all the market volatility and just come out on top. And this is ADM's move to get ahead in that race. So let's try to tie all this together. When you connect all these different dots, you realize we're not just talking about a factory anymore. We are talking about the creation of a new kind of industrial platform that links huge sectors of our global economy. It all begins right here, on the farms of the American heartland. This entire global value chain is built on the foundation of soybeans harvested from the soil. From there, one stream flows directly into our energy future. That soybean oil is a critical component in the transition to renewable fuels. It connects that Illinois farmer directly to the gas tank of a truck maybe half a world away. And then the other stream, it flows directly to our dinner tables. The protein meal becomes the feed that supports livestock production, which links that very same farm to the global food supply chain. And this brings us to what I think is the most powerful idea in this entire explainer. The soybean crush has evolved. It's not just a step after the harvest anymore. It is the central hub, the industrial platform that connects agriculture, energy, and global trade. So a single $420 million investment in a plant in Illinois has shown us the deep, powerful connections between our fields, our fuel tanks, and our food. It's a crystal clear signal about where a major global player believes the future is headed. The only question left is, what other signals just like this are we missing?